Hey friends, I'm here with my super talented friend, Antonio Butler, who scored this super awesome comedy Christmas film coming out. And I'm so excited to talk to him because a lot of people don't realize how much effort and talent and just pure genius go into scoring a movie. Antonio, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. How about yourself?
Awesome. I'm well. Thank you for joining me today. And I want to start with kind of the big question that I think a lot of people don't realize when they're watching movies, which is what goes into scoring a movie, and specifically something like a comedy where really sound effects and just certain sounds and instruments really put people in the atmosphere and the mood for a comedy.
Well, it all starts with the team. Everybody has a job and a vision. So everybody needs to do their part in order for it to come together. As far as Never Alone for Christmas, for me personally, once Kenny, the director, once he reached out to me and sent me over the script, I was able to put together a really vivid picture in my head, from the script to, be able to make all the music mesh and fit all the feelings that he was doing. All the feelings he was trying to put out because he did such a great job writing it.
Absolutely. Now, a lot of people, I started off in this industry kind of behind the scenes in production. I've made music beds. So a lot of people don't realize kind of the ear you have to have for production. Can we talk about a little bit about your background and how you kind of came about finding out you had a knack for this, or you had a gift for being able to hear things that weren't quite there yet?
100%. Well, for me personally, I started in the church. Music is a family thing on both sides. Both my mom's side of the family and my dad's side of the family are musically talented. My grandmother's a piano player. All of my other family is singers or drummers of some sort. So music was in my blood. But I began playing the drums in my church at a very young age. I actually couldn't even reach the bass pedal when I first started. I had to stand up and play. So, it was a really early thing. So coming up, I was always interested in music. I always did music, but I didn't start recording music until I was in middle school. I had a little bitty digital recorder, and I would start recording myself, and I started making beats on Fruity Loops way back then. And once I got into that, I started doing it for my friends also. But yeah, I've always had a knack for music just because of the fact that, my family's history in music.
Let's talk a little bit about, there's been hundreds of Christmas movies in the past.
Mhm.
What were some of the challenges with kind of creating something original, still kind of keeping to the tradition of Christmas, but putting your mark on this movie? What were some of the challenges behind that?
Well, the challenges, I can't even call them challenges because well, no, you know what? I will call one a challenge because the most difficult part for me um with this particular project was capturing the emotional aspect of it. With it being a romantic comedy, it was the most difficult part for me was capturing that emotional, get people, that are really in love and really can correlate with what the storyline is to feel it. So when I initially sent over the first version of the song, uh, I guess it was too happy. They loved it, but it lacked the emotional grasp that they wanted. So they had communicated it with me and told me what they wanted, and I was like, you know what? Well, let's incorporate some of those more emotional things like real love and prayer and the absence of and different things like that. Add some more emotional instruments like strings and different things like that to really grasp it. That's what the most difficult part for me was for this project. But as far as originality, I mean, it wasn't hard at all because I mean that's what I do as far as anything that I do. I want it to be original. And when you're talking about Christmas, most people do all the Christmas favorites, all the, all the same things. They just sing those same songs over and over again. So it was an opportunity for me to be able to put together something original for Christmas and have a good feel to it, a good bounce to it, and, something that was different because everybody else is singing the same thing, the jingle bells and, different things like that. So it wasn't difficult to incorporate originality with it, but the grasping the emotional standpoint of it was the most difficult part, which wasn't very difficult either, but it was the harder of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said before, a lot of people they don't realize the specialty for the ear people have to have when they're in like audio production and especially music production about being able to capture an emotion and being able to almost in an international perspective get people to understand what's trying to be conveyed, whether they speak the language or not. They can understand through music and through sound, what message is trying to be relayed out there. And I think it's so incredible that you were able to do something like this. I want to
Mhm.
talk a little bit about, your creative process and not just with this film, but, how do you kind of seek inspiration for your projects?
Okay. So personally, my process is pretty much the same. Once I know what I'm doing, we have a topic. So therefore, once I have that topic and what I want to talk about, I go and I decide which tempo I want the record to be in. From once I decide the tempo, I decide which key I want the record to be in, and how I want it to feel. So once I get that, that's when I go to the sound selection as far as what instruments I want to be in there. If I want the melodies to be up tempo or have more space for the vocals or different things like that. That process is pretty much the same for me, no matter what I'm talking about, because I have to have a certain feel. The feel has to match no matter what song you're talking about, whether I'm talking about partying or Christmas or love or religion, life in general, whatever it is, the instruments for me and the instrumentation have to grasp that feeling. So, that's my process. Tempo, key, sound selection, and then just the bounce of it.
Absolutely. How do you feel about knowing you've created a timeless piece that, people are going to feel like they can relate to it next year and the year after that and 10 years from now and 20 years from now? How do you feel about that?
I feel great. I feel great about it. Like I was telling them before, like it was amazing for me to everyone that I sent it out to that I wanted to their opinion on, everyone that I knew that was music savvy or had a good ear for music, everyone that I sent it out to, they were all having that same response to it. They couldn't get their kids to stop singing it. The kids just really loved this record. It was so kid friendly and made them feel so good. So many people were sending me videos of their children singing the song, and that part made me feel the best of all because it was like I always say, like a lot of my music isn't kid friendly, so to have a record that can really be heard and enjoyed and loved for everybody during the holidays was a real big achievement for me.
Absolutely. I think that is so incredible. I want to shift gears a little bit. Let's have a little fun. You made a
Okay.
Christmas movie, so let's let the people know your Christmas side. You are going to a Christmas dinner. What three things are you bringing with you?
Christmas dinner. I am going to bring uh, my favorite cologne. I am going to bring a comb for my beard because more than likely I'm gonna have a hat on, and some icebreakers. I mean, for me personally, I mean, if I'm going to a party, I expect the host to have everything there that they need. So everything that I took would be personal.
Absolutely. Christmas vacation, is that in the mountains with the snow? Is that at the beach where it's hot? Where are you going for a Christmas vacation?
If I was going on vacation for Christmas, I would love to be in Aspen, Colorado, in the mountains. Snowmass is beautiful. The ski slopes, everything is amazing out there. It's a beautiful place. If I'm going on vacation, if I'm not home for Christmas, I would love to be in the mountains in Aspen, Colorado.
Okay, be honest with this one. Are you pro eggnog?
I haven't never really had it. I can't say that I love it or I don't because I haven't had it enough to remember. I haven't had any eggnog in years, and they've started to do a lot of new stuff with eggnog. So and it's okay, but it's not my favorite thing.
I totally agree. I am not an eggnog person. I want to be so badly because it just seems like the Christmas thing to do. Be pro eggnog and just enjoy it. I can't stand behind it, to be honest. I would have to say I'm more of a hot cider person instead of eggnog, to be honest.
I do like apple cider.
What would you say is your favorite Christmas tradition?
The eating part.
I feel
I
that. I
love to eat.
definitely feel
I
that.
love to eat, man. I like to go on and give me seconds and thirds, and depending on who cook, I might try to take some with me if I didn't cook myself. But yeah, my favorite part about Christmas is the eating part. Other than spending it with your family and friends, your loved ones, and getting to share that time with them. But you shouldn't wait to the holidays to do that. You want to make a habit of that all the time, man, or as much as you can, because time is ticking, it's limited, and you don't want to wait until someone's gone. So the favorite part just about Christmas, the food. So it's gonna be plethoras of meats and sides and pies and cakes and candies and all of that.
I love it. I love it. How can people stay in touch with you? Where can they find more information about you?
Tay5KC on anything. TAE5IVEKC on anything. That's from Instagram, Snapchat. Oh, Antonio Butler on Facebook. And that's it. I don't have a whole lot of socials. I don't really even use Instagram. But I do have it. So there it is.
And how can people watch Never Alone for Christmas and hear your music with this movie?
Well, Never Alone for Christmas comes out December 8th, I believe, on BET Plus. It will be showing December 22nd on the actual BET network. And well, I don't believe they can come to any of the private screenings. So I mean they're just there with the December 8th and December 22nd, BET Plus, and then regular BET team tune in on BET December 22nd.
Awesome, awesome. I love it, Antonio. Thank you for taking a little bit of time out your day to hang out with me. Of course, be
Thank you
sure
for
to
having
download
me.
the Oh, of course, of course. Make sure you download the free Odyssey app today to get exclusive conversations just like this one with my friend Antonio. And that's AUDACY inside the App Store. Make sure you follow and favorite Star 94 Atlanta in the Odyssey app. And if you want to stay up to date with me, you can follow me at it's me underscore Licity. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever you need to do, but you can stay up to date with me at it's me underscore Licity. I'll see you guys next time.